Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and did you know that Universal Studios Florida is home to some of the best seasonal events, one of the best nighttime shows, and one of the most immersive theme park lands in the world? But in 2026, there are some big changes that are catching guests completely off guard. And that's why today I'm going to break down over 10 of the biggest mistakes that could ruin your day at this park at Universal Orlando and exactly how to avoid every single one of them. And be sure to stick around for number 2 because this park has more motion simulators than any other Universal Orlando park. And if you don't plan for it, someone or possibly you might have a rough day. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, I'm about to break down over 10 mistakes you do not want to make at Universal Studios Florida. And I have done videos like this in the past, but a lot of my content recently has been geared towards Epic Universe, of course, because it is the newest park at Universal Orlando. But we can't forget about the oldies. We have to go back because there are also a lot of changes going on within this park, Islands of Adventure. So I'm going to break down both. And if you're planning a Universal Orlando trip in 2026 and beyond, if you want more videos like this, just be sure to hit that subscribe button as I have a lot more similar videos coming out every week. But let's jump right in and let's start with mistake number 10, and that is going to be ignoring the park hours. And this is so important now at Universal Studios Florida. And what we're seeing and what's definitely going to happen throughout the year is the park hours at this park in particular are definitely going to fluctuate, specifically because right now to start the year off, Universal Orlando actually has this park opening up at 10 a.m. And that is similar to Epic Universe, where we're now seeing, instead of those 9 o'clock opening times that we're seeing over in Islands of Adventure, and then definitely over in Walt Disney World, Universal's like, you want to know what? We're going to open up an hour later. And this definitely changes almost everything about your day. First and foremost, you can get to the park a little bit later in the day. Second, I've spoken about this on my channel, but this might mean if you're an early bird type of family, you might want to get that park to park ticket so that you could start your morning over in Islands of Adventure, which is right now geared to open up at 9 a.m. for regular park guests, but at 8 a.m. if you have early park admission. And then on the flip side of this, what we are seeing is that Universal Studios Florida is staying open a little bit later at night. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this and why I'm saying it could be a mistake to not keep an eye on the park hours going into your trip is based on the time of year you visit. This definitely can and will change. And the real season that I'm keep thinking about when I kind of think of this is Halloween Horror Nights. And the reason why I'm guessing that this will almost certainly change is because Halloween Horror Nights is a specialty ticketed event at Universal Studios Florida. And for guests who do not have a Halloween Horror Nights ticket, the park will close around 5 o'clock at night. Now, as you can imagine, if Universal is closing the park at 5 o'clock at night, I have to imagine that they're going to open it up a little bit earlier. So not looking at the park hours as you're going into your trip can be a huge mistake and really throw off your entire day. And so the fix to this is, of course, just check the Universal Orlando app for park hours and also entertainment schedules as you get closer to your trip. You can build your day around those hours. I would say, as a general rule of thumb, the 30-day mark is generally when we see like locked in hours at the parks. And that's also when you could start to see if there's a nighttime show or parade running during your visit. And so you could plan to work that into your day as well. And so moving over to mistake number 9, and I already touched base on this, but something you definitely need to keep in mind if you're planning in the fall is ignoring those early closures during Halloween Horror Nights. And so like I discussed, from late August through really early November, because it runs the first couple of days of November, Universal Studios Florida on nights that they host Halloween Horror Nights will close at 5 p.m. And you could see this is a huge change because now if Universal's staying open till, let's say, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night on certain nights, and now you're losing 4 hours. So if you're visiting Universal Orlando and let's say you have no interest in going to Halloween Horror Nights, your biggest priority is just getting the most out of your days, you have to plan around this, and you might want to even plan a different time of year to go. Okay, moving over to mistake number 8, and this is kind of a 2-in-1. And so the mistake here would be not having that park to park ticket, specifically if you want to ride the Hogwarts Express. And so for those who do not know, the Hogwarts Express is the very popular Harry Potter train ride that connects both Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. You definitely need the park-to-park ticket still in 2026 in order to ride the Hogwarts Express. Now, what I would say is this ride almost always has a refurb once a year. And what I constantly see and we receive feedback is that guests go and they buy the park to park ticket, and then just by coincidence, the 2 weeks that they're going, the Hogwarts Express is down for refurbishment. So kind of the tip and trick within the tip and trick is keep an eye on the rides that are down for refurbishment. Because if you're specifically just getting it because you're a Harry Potter fan, you have Harry Potter fans in your family, and you show up to the park and the ride's down, well, you could potentially just go with the base ticket, or you could sort of pivot and maybe again change the time of year that you're coming to visit. Now, of course, if you do get the park to park ticket to ride the Hogwarts Express, another one that you definitely want to keep an eye out for, and I've mentioned this, is that the experience is different both ways. So if you ride it from Universal Studios Florida at King's Cross over to Hogsmeade Village, it's going to be completely different than if you rode it from Hogsmeade over to King's Cross Station. So you want to really ride it both ways, especially if it's your first time on the Hogwarts Express. Okay, over to mistake number 7, and this one would be not having a list of must-try foods, or really going into your day thinking that there's just generic theme park food at Universal Studios Florida. And especially with the opening of Epic Universe, Universal's culinary team has definitely upgraded the offerings at all of the parks, but specifically, there are great quick service meals if you know where to find them. And a lot of these quick service options will run you between, I would say, $16 to $22, with the portions for a lot of them being big enough if you do want to share. So some of our must-try foods at Universal Studios Florida are definitely going to be the Central Park crepes. So they have a bunch of different options from savory to sweet. Right outside of Diagon Alley, we have the London Taxi Hut, which has the loaded jacket potatoes. And then I also really love the menu over at the Minion Cafe. But what I would say is definitely be sure to do your research in advance, so you're kind of just not walking around aimlessly or trying to figure out like what to eat when everyone's hungry. Have a game plan, and you can again plan your day around it so you end up right where you need to be at lunchtime. Another important one here is definitely don't forget that Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure are connected to City Walk, which is different from Epic Universe now. But if you wanted to maybe leave the park and go grab a quick bite or something to eat at one of the City Walk restaurants, you definitely can do that as well. All right, over to mistake number 6, and that is bringing a large backpack to a lot of the major rides. So many of the major rides at Universal Studios Florida do require you to store your bags inside lockers. So some of the most popular ones that come to mind are going to be the Revenge of the Mummy, Men in Black Alien Attack, and Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. Now the problem here is 2 problems really. There's the first one is that if you bring a large enough backpack, you can't actually use the free ride lockers that they give you outside of these rides. And then the second problem here is that if you are trying to, let's say, rope drop or hit early park admission and get on, let's say, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, your backpack is definitely going to slow you up, where you will have to go and put it in a locker before you kind of go and get on the line. So what I would suggest is if you do need to bring a backpack, bring one that's roughly 14 by 5.5 by 16.9. I got that directly from the Universal Orlando website. Do it at what you may. You have to go measure your backpacks. I'm sorry. The other thing you can do is possibly bring a fanny pack, a small purse, or something that will go sort of around you that you don't have to put into the lockers. Okay, over to mistake number 5, and this is a money-saving tip where I think if you're unsure if you need the Universal Express Pass, or if you're trying to figure out and stretch a budget, which parks do I get it for, which parks do I not need it for, I would say that this is definitely the most budget kind of friendly park of all of the Universal Orlando parks at this point in time. My opinion is it's currently the easiest of the 3 main Universal parks to get through without the Express Pass, especially with Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket permanently closed and they're building the new, sort of Fast and the Furious roller coaster that's going to come and replace it. Now is the time to hit this park without the Express Pass if you're being budget conscious and trying to stretch your budget. And what I find is that a solid touring plan, especially if you show up really, really early and you're willing to stay until later at night, definitely can get you onto everything without spending, that close to $200 per person on the Express Pass on certain days. And if you're trying to figure out how to do that and get the most out of your days while stretching a tight budget, this is actually where we can help. At the Park Prodigy, we can build a custom park plan for everything at Universal Studios Florida without the Express Pass. If you book your vacation package through us, we will literally tell you what ride to go on at what time, and your day will go that much smoother. Just be sure to head over to theparkprodigy.com for more vacation planning help. But sticking with this one, on the flip side, if you do have the Express Pass, and let's say you're trying to figure out which park do you hit on your travel day in, you got an early flight into Orlando, and you're going to go to one of the Universal Orlando parks, you have the Express Pass, I think Universal Studios Florida is the perfect half-day park or travel day park with the Express Pass. And you'll be surprised just how much you can get done at this park, because the Express Pass definitely is a lot of money, but it's a premium product and you get a premium result from it. Another really important one for just the parks in general, if you do have that one single ride express pass and you are trying to get the most out of your day, typically we will see wait times be the highest sort of between 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 4 p.m. So if you want to get on your favorite ride more than once, but your express pass only allows you on it once, I definitely recommend to rope drop, get as much done early in the morning, and then you can use your express pass after that. Up next, the theme store that most guests walk right past thinking it's just another gift shop. And so this mistake would be neglecting the seasonal tribute stores. So located in the Hollywood area of the park, the tribute store is a highly themed store that essentially completely transforms for each major seasonal event. So me and my wife just went to the one for Mardi Gras. It was just such a cool theming to it. And I do think it's like a walkthrough experience that you do want to quote unquote experience. Some of my other favorite ones though are definitely going to be for Halloween Horror Nights. They always really go above and beyond. And I also think during the certain times of year, this is a great way to just get out of the heat and get in the AC for a little bit. All right, over to mistake number 3, and that would be missing the interactive quote-unquote Easter eggs. So of course, beyond the headline and rides, Universal Studios Florida is packed with interactive elements and Easter eggs that most guests completely miss. And a big part of this is because, of course, this is the OG park. This is the original park that opened way back in the 90s now at this point. And there are a lot of hidden Easter eggs from old rides that have been replaced and new rides that we have. So some of the secrets in Diagon Alley are you can actually dial 62442, which is magic, in the red London phone booth right outside Diagon Alley to hear the Ministry of Magic. Also, if you check in the windows in the record shop outside of Diagon Alley, you'll spot nods to Jaws, which is the ride that this land replaced. If you do upgrade and you get the interactive wands, don't forget that there are hidden spell locations throughout Diagon Alley. And if you go into Nocturne Alley, you can actually see them under the black light on your map. But just all throughout this park, you really do want to slow down and take it in and really just enjoy the immersive theming. Okay, over to mistake number 2, and this is one that I wanted to put on the list because we did just go to Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando. And did you know that you can actually plan to be on one of the Mardi Gras floats? So Mardi Gras is typically hosted from early February through, I would say, early April. And this is probably one of the cooler things you can do in the parks where you can actually ride on one of the parade floats and throw beads to the crowds. And there's actually 2 ways to do it. So the first one is you can upgrade and you can get the float ride and dine experience, which starts around $94.99, and it includes a 3-course meal at one of the restaurants in Universal Orlando and a reserved spot on one of the Mardi Gras floats. The other way that typically throughout the day, there will be a virtual queue that you can join to get onto one of the Mardi Gras floats, and that one is free. And it's important to note that spots are definitely limited. So if you are trying to do this, when you show up at Universal Studios Florida, I definitely recommend that you speak with a team member and just kind of get a little bit more detail on what you need to do to secure your spot. And finally, the last mistake is definitely one that I see most often, and it's probably the one that has personally ruined my trips the most. And that would be visiting Universal Studios Florida and not being prepared for the motion simulators. So the truth is, if I'm being honest, Universal Studios Florida is not the biggest thrill ride park right now. With Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket closed, as we wait for the new Fast and the Furious roller coaster, there's not as many coasters as over in Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe. And so that brings up the real issue where there is a lot of motion simulator rides. And there's definitely more motion simulators here than any other Universal Orlando park. We have Transformers the Ride 3D, The Simpsons Ride, Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, Fast and the Furious Supercharged, which is going to be replaced in the future, Men in Black Alien Attack, which is sort of like a hidden one where you don't realize you're going to get sick, and then another one is Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, which has the 3D motion simulator glasses. So you need to be prepared for this. If you are prone to motion sickness, you need to kind of understand it going in. And so I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, but I would say you could look into remedies like Dramamine for motion sickness. But even taking it one step further, on top of any medication that you personally might find helpful, you definitely want to be sure to kind of have a game plan, and so you're not hitting, let's say, 3 to 4 motion simulators back to back to back without a break. And some of the other important things that I personally have found are definitely stay hydrated, make sure that you're eating throughout the day so that you have energy. And as you can see, it really just comes down to having a solid game plan and understanding sort of what your day is going to look like at Universal Studios Florida. But as you can see, the truth is the park strength really is, it's a balanced park. And that's what I personally love about it. It is still my favorite park at Universal Orlando. And I think it's the perfect balance between some coasters, especially when we get the Fast and the Furious one. It has its different, immersion, the whole movie aspect. And Diagon Alley is arguably the best themed land in any of the parks in Orlando. And that's why I decided to create this video, to make sure you are as prepared as possible for Universal Studios Florida. But if you're still not sure how to balance everything for your Universal Orlando vacation, including Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe, well, that's exactly what we do over at the Park Prodigy. We will help you figure out exactly which parks are a full day park, which ones are a half day park, where to use your Express Pass. So just be sure to go check out theparkprodigy.com if you need a little additional help planning your trip. And like always, if you found this video helpful, just be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code you can go use on our website to book your Universal Orlando vacation package and save an extra $50 off. And that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.